Now it's the market story that's been the talk of social media and traditional media this week. A David versus Goliath struggle between small investors coordinating action on Reddit against giant Wall Street institutions. GameStop is the stock that's been on everyone's lips, bet against by big hedge funds which started short selling the company shares because they thought it was fundamentally not a good investment. But then groups of small retail investors realised this and put the squeeze back on them by pushing the price up using traded options. And then one of the main trading apps used by the small investors, Robinhood, restricted purchases of the stock and the price began to drop yesterday.
We've gotten a lot of criticism that, maybe there should be more restrictions. So it pains us to have had to impose these restrictions, and we're going to do what we can to enable trading in these stocks as soon as we can. We realize customers are upset with this. It was not an easy decision. Ultimately, the team made the correct decision here. So what we can do is move forward, focus on giving customers the most stable and reliable platform going forward. And we've invested a lot in that, and we've actually seen some great progress and taking all the steps we can to make sure customers can buy the securities that they want to buy without restrictions in the future.
Well, that was Vlad Tenev, the founder of Robinhood. And I can speak now to the founder of a similar commission free trading service in the UK, Freetrade, and that's Victor Nebahash, who joins me now. Victor, good morning to you. It wasn't just, of course, Robinhood that restricted trading in some of these stocks. It was some of the other established platforms such as Schwab and E-Trade as well, wasn't it?
That's correct. Good morning. It is indeed a David versus Goliath fight. And what we saw was a lot of big platforms restricted access to these stocks. At Freetrade, we are taking the view that we are not in the business of telling our customers what to buy, what to sell, and then we are in the business of servicing them as well as possible. So we never restricted access. What we basically focused on was educating our customers on the risks. Our team basically split into two. One half was sending messages and focusing on education of our customers about the potential risks of chiming into this momentum trading. The other half of our team focused on honestly keeping the systems up. We saw a 10x increase in customer signups. In the previous days, we would see 3,000 customers signing up per day. We saw more than 30,000 just yesterday.
That's very interesting. I mean, Victor, before we get into that, I mean, there were a lot of wild conspiracy theories about Robinhood and why they did this yesterday. They didn't really have any choice, did they? Because they've got to have capital on hand in case they have to take any unsettled trades onto their book.
Well, I think our American competitor slash commission-free trading platform did the decision they felt they had to do in the context of their business. I would not like to comment on the details of whether that was a good decision or a bad decision. What I can tell you is that we evaluated the situation, we assessed what we need to do, and we decided to be on the side of the retail customer. If they make a decision that they want to buy a GameStop stock or any other stock, we need to do our best to, one, provide continuous access, because resilience is really key. A lot of platforms went down, so all development work at Freetrade stopped. And we also had to do our best to educate them, because honestly, as much as I personally like seeing retail investors showing that they are a force to reckon with, share prices of a company are shaped by its future profits. And if GameStop doesn't live up to the share price, that can be potentially a dangerous, risky trade for retail investors. So that's what we focused on from our perspective.
Well, I'm glad you're mentioning education, Victor, because, I mean, it's very clear from some of the events that we've seen this week that some of these punters are not all that sophisticated. I mean, some of them, for example, buying shares in AMC Networks instead of AMC Entertainment.
I think that's a fair point. Retail investors not all the same, but add caution against considering retail investors unsophisticated. But some of the analysis, some of the due diligence we see posted on Reddit or on our own forum that we run at Freetrade, they are fairly sophisticated. And at the same time, yes, it's a broad group. It's a very diverse group. It's basically everyone. And we need to do our best to provide education. And honestly, those mistakes. Or if any retail customers did that's very unfortunate, and there is definitely for some people it might be a learning fee experience, but you have to build your platform if you run this in a way that people are very clear what they are buying. And education is continuous. It has to be continuous. That's what we are focusing on. We are sending newsletters to our customers that describe trends, present the bull case, present the bear case as well. It's very important to educate continuously. That's what we are focusing on.
And Victor, are you allowing your customers to trade on the traded options market, or are they just buying pure plain vanilla cash equities?
Plain vanilla cash equities. That's actually a very important point. When we founded our business years ago, we made a very conscious decision not to allow options, not to allow leverage. To be honest with you, we consider them potentially toxic financial products. We don't want to see anyone who is using Freetrade get into debt, have really negative financial outcomes for themselves. And look, it's a tough decision because we could make a lot more revenue if we had those products on the platform, but we'd rather have less revenue and build our business right and do right by our customers.
Quite so, yes. They could make more money. They could suffer bigger losses too, couldn't they? Victor, very good to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.